Hey, what's going on? Keith here from Sports Vibes TV, and got some big news to discuss with you guys. It's being reported that Kemba Walker will no longer be in the starting lineup, and in fact, he won't even be in the rotation. So we'll get into that in this video, and if you like it, just make sure you smash that like button, and also make sure you're subscribed if you want to be up to date with your Knicks news. Also, make sure you have your notifications set to all. That way you're notified whenever I drop new content. So with that being said, let's jump right into this article I pulled up for you guys. So here we can see this article is from Stefan Bondi of the Daily News, and he started by saying Kemba Walker went from homecoming king to the DNP line. The four-time All-Star has been removed from the Knicks rotation amid his defensive struggles and the consistent failures of New York's starting unit, with coach Tom Thibodeau dropping the big news ahead of Tuesday's game in Brooklyn. Now, this is something we've been discussing on the channel. We actually talked about it yesterday during our Sunday live stream, which is live at 8 p.m. as I said before on Sundays. And in this, in that live stream, we were discussing that this team cannot go out there with two minus defenders in that starting unit and expect to get off to a good start in games. Same thing in the third quarter. It's going to be hard for us to either hold leads, create leads, or allow teams not to build leads on us if we're not sound defensively. And with two minus defenders out there on the court, you see teams being able to attack us in a multitude of ways. One of them being penetration, getting into the paint, and kicking it out, and attacking us when we're not making the right rotations. Now with Alec Burks elevated, you no longer have two minus defenders in that starting lineup. You only have one. And what really jumped out to me was I looked at the Cavs game, another game in which Kemba did not play. And in that game, we had two minus defenders in the starting lineup, in Derrick Rose and in Evan Fournier. But if you look at the game against the Atlanta Hawks with Burks elevated into that starting lineup, the defense looked a lot more like the defense we saw last season. So to me, that proved that we cannot have two minus defenders in the starting lineup, but we can survive with Evan Fournier, who has been able to come up with some big shots lately in order to help us get that win against the Atlanta Hawks. He's started to show some life, so I'm fine with him staying in the starting lineup and being that one minus defender. But with Alec Burks elevating now, it should make our defense a whole lot better out there on the court. Me personally, I would have preferred Emmanuel Quickly, but I understand keeping Quick in the second unit. They have a lot of chemistry with D Rose and Obi Toppin. So if Tom Thibodeau does not want to mess that up, I can understand, but a change had to be made with that starting lineup if this team was going to be serious about getting to the playoffs and potentially the second round. So let's go further along in the article. It says Thibodeau was moving Alec Burks to starting point guard and said Walker didn't fit with the second unit. This was another thing I was wondering. Yes, we can demote Kemba Walker, but if you look at it, he really does not fit with that second unit. We can't have him out there with Derrick Rose at the same time, because once again, you have that issue with two minus defenders, and both of those minus defenders playing on the perimeter where teams can attack us and try to get into the paint. So that wasn't an ideal fit. And now Walker will no longer be in the rotation. So it's very interesting to see how he responds to this move, knowing that he won't be playing pretty much at all, unless it's going to be garbage minutes, I assume. But even at that point, do you really want that kind of look to put Kemba out there in garbage minutes and say that's the only time he's able to play? So that's going to be a very interesting dynamic for us moving forward. It's a logical maneuver since the reserves are already formidable with Derrick Rose and Emmanuel Quickly in the backcourt, but still surprising and controversial because of Walker's stature, what I just mentioned. And now we have a quote from Tibbs himself. It's a tough decision to make, but you always have to do what's best for the team. Thibodeau said, I view Kemba as a starter, and so it would be tough to play three small guards together. Facts. I gave it consideration, and I've got great respect for who Kemba is as a person, number one, and all that he's accomplished in this league. But I have to do what's best for the team. And it did look like Tibbs was having a tough time breaking the news to the media. He wasn't as usual, loud. You didn't have that raspy voice. He was a little low toned in his delivery, I guess, in order to be respectful to Kemba. So let me know what you guys think about this move. I made the video, I did the live stream with Stephen Fox yesterday, and a lot of people were saying that I was making Kemba a scapegoat, and I'm not making Kemba a scapegoat. Kemba's my guy, I grew up with him, would love to see the best for him. But when you're looking at what's going on out there on the court, you can see that we cannot have two negative defenders out there with the starting lineup. We're going up against every team's best of the best. And, those are usually the players in their starting lineup. And so for us to have two minus defenders out there already puts us at a disadvantage. And you say, well, why don't we move, Evan Fournier? Well, Evan Fournier is being paid a lot more money than Kemba Walker, and we have a lot more invested in him long term. So I totally understand this move. Once again, let me know what you guys think. I'm Keith here from Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.